Why did Jumanji mess up the possibility of a Central Intelligence sequel? This is what it feels like when you spend the day with Kevin Hart and The Rock. They were paired up in a live-action film for the first time in 2016 when Central Intelligence was released, and we just want more of them. However, it seems like we won't be getting that anytime soon. Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart were amazing in Central Intelligence. The movie made an astonishing $217 million at the box office on a $50 million budget. To call this one a success would be an insult. The movie was the right kind of funny, exhilarating, and even suspenseful at times.
Because I've got backup, ain't that right, Chad? Chad!
So normally we wanted to see them again on the big screen. After all, with Kevin the Golden Jet Joyner joining the CIA alongside his partner Robbie Weirdicht, we think there was a huge potential for the movie. Even the director Rawson Marshall Thurber was excited about bringing these two characters on the big screen after the first movie, but it seems like Jumanji messed that up.
Harris is the Black Badger!
Just kidding. I'm not here. Leave a message at the beep.
When THR sat down with Thurber, the director told them that there will not be a Central Intelligence sequel in the near future. The reason for that is simple: the release of Jumanji. Since the biggest interest for Central Intelligence 2 was to see Kevin Hart and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on the big screen again, the need was met when Jumanji was released back in 2017. Not only that, the movie was amazing and hilarious, so they postponed the release date of the movie for the near future. The director knew that the fans wanted more, and they had a plan, but that was no longer the case. When THR asked him about Central Intelligence 2, he just said, "We had an idea," but when Kevin and Dwayne went to do Jumanji, that itch was scratched for most people. Then, in 2019, the second Jumanji movie was released with the title Jumanji: The Next Level. That one was also a success, and the chances of Central Intelligence 2 shrank even further. And then, as if all of that wasn't bad enough for Central Intelligence, this year, during the summer, the animated superhero pet movie, DC League of Super Pets, was released. It was an instant hit with stars like Keanu Reeves and John Krasinski alongside Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. In the movie, Dwayne Johnson is playing Crypto Superman Superdog, while Kevin Hart is smashing that like button, just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, Kevin Hart is playing Crypto's sidekick, Ace the Bat Hound.
Smelling stuff is one of the greatest joys of being a dog, next to licking any part of your body. I mean, I lick myself all the time.
So now, with 4 movies released already, the fans' desire to see another Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart movie in the near future seems low. But then, we saw this on IMDb. Central Intelligence 2 has an official page on the website which says, because this project is categorized as in development, the data is only available on IMDb Pro and is subject to change. It's official, the movie's in the works, so let's talk about the possibility of a Central Intelligence sequel. From the first movie, we know that Joyner wasn't happy with his life. Since he met Bob Stone, Robbie Weirdicht's new name, he wants to change career paths and stop being an accountant. He always imagined doing something amazing with his life, and being an accountant wasn't one of those things. Bob Stone seemed like the perfect opportunity to do so.
Show us your tits! Hey, let's see some titties!
However, after Bob crashed on his couch in those unicorn pajamas, the CIA was at Joyner's door the next morning. They tell Joyner that Bob Stone is a very dangerous rogue agent who murdered his former CIA partner, Phil Stanton. Pamela Harris, the leader of a team of CIA agents, tells Joyner that Stone has plans to sell the auction codes they looked up the night before. After hearing all of this, Calvin decided not to mess with Stone anymore, but Stone abducts him and tells everyone that someone is trying to frame him. After several attempts to escape and even colluding with the CIA at one point and betraying Stone's trust, he still can't get away.
Stop the car right now! Stop the car!
Okay, that's a great idea, Jet. We should get off the grid right now.
His weird friend from high school just won't leave him alone. Eventually, they get the codes and they decided to sell them to the Black Badger. Joyner thinks the Black Badger is Harris because he arrived at the garage in Boston where the deal was supposed to take place. He goes to warn Stone, but he's already striking a deal with the Black Badger. Now Joyner is in trouble. Stone doesn't think it, but the Black Badger thinks that he's going to rat them out to the feds. To save his life, Stone fires a shot at Calvin, grazing his neck and convincing everyone he's dead. Then the real Black Badger reveals himself, and it turns out to be Bob Stone's old partner, Phil Stanton. After a massive fight scene, Joyner and Stone manage to take Phil down. After throwing Phil's body in the river, Bob and Calvin make up. They then go to their high school reunion, where Bob is voted prom king, thanks to Calvin and his hacking of the voting system at the school. After punching his high school bully and knocking him unconscious, he gives a speech in front of the entire school, telling everyone about the importance of overcoming obstacles, tells everyone that he's Weirdicht, and then strips all of his clothes. In a way, he relived his biggest fear, the turning point of his life, when a group of bullies threw him naked in the middle of the basketball court. At that moment, he met up with Darla, Stone's high school crush. They immediately hit it off, and Darla agreed to go on a date with him. After Calvin found out that Maggie is pregnant, Joyner is offered a position in the CIA and becomes Stone's partner. As a welcome gift, Stone gives him the old varsity jacket back. Now, this was a great opening for a second movie. Stone and Calvin are not co-workers, they're both CIA agents. Bob Stone now has a girlfriend and Maggie is pregnant.
You're still as beautiful as ever.
They have a lot of material to work with for the second movie if there ever is one. First of all, they could continue right where they left off. Calvin and Bob could fight bad guys together. In the beginning, we could see Dwayne Johnson training Kevin Hart to become a CIA agent. He could even beat him up a few times to teach him a lesson. Of course, the bad guy could be someone from their high school, and if the budget allows it, maybe include a few CGI in the mix. Maybe the kid was a nerd who turned into an evil mastermind and built a giant mechanical robot that he controls with his brain. On top of that, they could finally show us what happened to Bob and Darla. Did they hit it off after the first date? Are they in a relationship? And most importantly, are they thinking about getting married? Maybe they could show us Bob and Darla getting married at the end of the movie. Also, Kevin and Maggie would have children in the second movie, so Kevin Hart's character could be shown trying to balance his family life and his new career of fighting world-class criminals.
Calvin, you be Calvin, and I will become Maggie.
There are just a few of the possibilities. They have a lot of material to work with, and it has the potential to become a very big thing. For the time being, the director hasn't said no to the possibility of a sequel, he is just waiting for the right time to make the second movie. And if the IMDb page is an indication, we think that we're gonna be seeing this comedic tag team on the big screen in no time.
I would like to go home now, please.
Buddy, you and me both. But until we clear our names, there's no going home.
The main reason we're hopeful about the possibility of a sequel is because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and director Rawson Marshall Thurber are still working together. In 2021, he and The Rock made a killing with Red Notice on Netflix. As you can see, their relationship hasn't gone cold, and they're probably talking about a new movie as we speak. Let's just hope it happens sooner rather than later. See you in the next video.